This video is in response to Jimmy from Bright Insight, more like dim-witted fool. Now, Atlantis. Let's read here. Let's do a little reading about Atlantis, okay? According to Cretaeus, the Hellenic deities of old divided the land so that each deity might have their own lot. Poseidon was appropriately and to his liking bequeathed the island of Atlantis. The island was larger than ancient Libya and Asia Minor combined, but it was later sunk. Now, sunk. Okay. Let's think about this very carefully. To be submerged. Okay. If a submarine goes submerged, it eventually will rise up again. It did not sink. Now, if a ship sinks, that means it went to the bottom of the ocean floor, right? Okay, there you go. There you go for that clarification there, genius. By an earthquake, and became an impassable mud shoal, inhibiting travel to any part of the ocean. Plato asserted that the Egyptians described Atlantis as an island consisting mostly of mountains in the northern portions and along the shore, and encompassing a great plain in an oblong shape in the south, extending in one direction 3,000 stadia. That's 345 miles, people. But across the center island, it was 2,000 stadia. That's 230 miles, people. 50 stadia, 6 miles from the coast, was a mountain that was low on all sides, broke it off all around and all about. The central island itself was 5 stades in diameter. Okay, the central island itself, the central island. All right? He's describing a series of islands here. Not a circular formation purely made by geology on the African continent. Can you understand what you're being told? Now, there's a million of you out there that are convinced that Jimmy, Mr. Bright Wonder Boy, over all the scientists and intellectuals in the world, including myself, would fail to realize that a round thing in the sand is Atlantis. Okay. Furthermore, now he's focused on the geological features. Yeah, you can do that. You can build something out of a geological feature. Look at Petra. People have done it all over the world. But I'm describing to you multiple islands. Africa is a continent. Okay. Do you know what a continent is? Maybe you should look it up, because I don't think you do. Now, in addition to all this stuff about the land features and the descriptions by everybody from Plato to, how many are there? There's so many people that are associated with Atlantis. It's just another passage from the commentary by Proclus on the Timaeus gives a description of the geography of Atlantis. That an island of such nature and size once existed is evident from what is said by certain authors who investigated the things around the outer sea. For according to them, there were 7 islands in the sea in their time, sacred to Persephone, and also 3 others of enormous size, one of which was sacred to Hades, another to Ammon, and another one between them to Poseidon, the extent of which was 1,000 stadia, and the inhabitants of it they had preserved in remembrance from their ancestors of the immeasurably large island of Atlantis, which had really existed there, and which for many ages had reigned over all islands in the Atlantic Sea, and which itself had likewise been sacred to Poseidon. Now these things Marcellus has written in the Ethiopica. Okay? Now, in addition to all these other things that prove that Jimmy's wrong, if a huge tidal wave had washed down over the African continent, and there were people chilling out in Atlantis in that little ring, then there would be like thousands of dead bodies thrown over the desert, and due to the fact that it's almost perfectly preserved in that area, when the wind blew and the desert sands exposed, you'd see bones laying everywhere. You'd see potsherds and found boats, and you'd find human skulls and human bones, and you'd find jewelry. You'd find evidence of a civilization. But the reason you don't find any, I think one guy mentioned a hook. Big deal. So a caravan carrying some hooks to some idiot across the land dropped some hooks in the desert and lost them. Oh, big deal. Hooks? That's your amazing evidence for the fact that this place is Atlantis? Yeah, right. What are you smoking? We have no visible evidence of this place being Atlantis. Neither in the archaeological record, there are no human bones there, no skeletal remains. There's nothing there. Nothing. There's more evidence of human intervention in Göbekli Tepe. Carved feature reliefs, circular structures, buried under the sand. 12,500 years ago. Where is Göbekli Tepe located? Interesting. Why don't you read the descriptions of Atlantis? All right. Now, I really don't care if about a million of you are so idiotic that you've honestly believed Jimmy here. I don't care what he thinks. You guys don't know anything, quite frankly. You're all tools. You can accept it for what you want. If you're willing to accept my information and understand that he's wrong and trying to deceive you, that's fine. You can gain some credibility and you won't be such a tool. Okay? There's no way in hell that that's Atlantis. That place has been known by other humans since the late 1800s or before. Probably thousands of years they've known about that site. Nobody else has ever claimed it was Atlantis. What makes Jimmy think he can claim it's Atlantis? Over every scientist and researcher and great world mind thinker? He's egotistical, at the least, okay? Now, I have proven to you unequivocally through historical narrative and through other factors that just don't add up. If that's Atlantis, I'm going to ask you one more time. Where are the tools? Where are the signs of civilization? It didn't all get washed into the ocean because he's claiming that if that's Atlantis, there's hundreds of miles from that little circular formation to the coast of Africa. Right? So you'd think that over all that desert land there would be strewn ancient civilization. Signs of it. Anything. Bones, jewelry, potsherds, anything. None exist. Jimmy, kiss my butt.